day after that. By all means, do not miss the Camellia Show Spectacular now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 2 minutes after 12 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Beautiful day out there. Have you looked at the weather report, though, Robin? If you're not living in Florida, it's not such a beautiful day up there.
Uh-oh.
Did you see that? It's raining. There's a tornado.
Yeah.
In Mississippi, up in the Northeast. It looks like they're getting some snow up where your son lives.
Yeah, 6 inches by tomorrow, they said.
All right, so we got some winter car care tips we want to talk about because you might be driving up there soon. I know you have a grandson, so...
I know. Get those snow tires.
Lauren Fix is known as the Car Coach, a nationally recognized automotive expert, journalist, author, and television host, and she's talking to us about the GM Buy Power Card. I want to know what that is, and the winter car care tips in case you are going up to Jersey.
Yes, I am.
Lauren, good morning. It's an honor to have you on the show. How are you?
Thank you. I am great. I wish I was in the nice warmer climate that you're having, although you've had some pretty bad weather down there, and that does impact. That's your winter versus our winter.
Right. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, wow. Oh,
so
yeah.
we do have some lovely weather.
You have notorious snow. Do you have snow on the ground right now?
It is snowing lightly outside. Perfect time for the holidays, and then it can go away as far as I'm concerned.
So tell me about this card.
That's when I start thinking about moving south. Yeah.
What is the what is that card?
Okay, this is a card that allows you to earn money towards a new vehicle, either buy or lease. Plus, you can rack up earnings on everything you buy every day. Holiday purchases, a cup of coffee, gasoline.
Wow.
And it allows you to get up to $250 per year on maintenance. So that's great. So if you're thinking about tires or you need brakes or you need some maintenance done in your vehicle, you're kind of putting it off because the average car on the road is 14 years old. And then on the other side of it, it also gives you money towards buying a new Chevy product. So it'd be Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac. You can get thousands of dollars off by earning money. So every time you purchase, you get 5% earnings on the first $5,000 and 2% unlimited earnings on future purchases. So I have a friend who did this, who's been working this card for a while.
Right.
And she saved thousands of dollars on a Buick. I get discounts, and I try to share them with friends all the time. But boy, she saved so much money, even the dealer's like, I can't even cut that close.
That is so cool. Okay, so I want to know more about that before we talk about the car care, the winter things. I don't have a whole lot of winter to worry about. So what you said, lease a car. You could do it for leasing a car too?
Yeah, so if you want to lease a car, that's for people that drive between 10 and 15,000 miles per year. That's the sweet spot. Remember, don't ever lease a car longer than the warranty. So if you have a 3-year warranty, don't lease it for 4 years because you're never going to get your money's worth out of it. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You're going to end up paying for there's going to be a problem outside the warranty. It's sort of like anything else, right?
Right.
And so I always tell people, be wise about things like that. So it does work for a lease. It works with a purchase. You can use the money toward a Corvette. There's tons of 2019 Corvettes sitting in a lot. 2020s are coming in. You can use it for that.
I need a Corvette.
No, I need something reasonable. What do you need?
A Corvette.
That's reasonable.
Okay, so we're talking about changing your oil and also your antifreeze. How often do we do that?
Right. Okay, now that's a very good question that is variable on every single vehicle out there. So a lot of the new cars from at least the last 20 years come with nothing but pure synthetic oil. So if you've got a little Honda Civic and you're thinking, I get great fuel economy on this, it requires full synthetic oil. That's between 7,500 and 10,000 miles for oil changes. Now, again, to be 100% sure, go to your owner's manual, the book in the glove box underneath all the napkins and ketchup packs. I've been in your glove box.
I guess so. Sounds like you have.
Well, everyone's got napkins and stuff, and they bury the book. But if you pull out the book, there's a service schedule. It'll tell you when to do the intervals of oil changes and coolant. Now, a lot of vehicles have long-life coolant, especially new cars, and you don't have to do it very often, but you should check it once a year. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, I constantly say, take it to an ASE certified technician. They're all over the country. It's a blue gear with a white ASE. And those are the people you want working on your vehicles because they're the ones, I'm one of them. We take tests and we have to be checked. And that's part of the process of being an ASE certified tech. Or you can take it to the dealer. They're all techs there. And we're not called mechanics anymore, by the way. It's like saying stewardess versus flight attendant. We are technicians because of the computer technology.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Your whole world has changed in just the last maybe 20 years. But I mean, every time you turn around, I first of all, you and Robin know way more about cars than I ever will. You notice that she asked about under the hood. I just asked about a Corvette.
Yeah, you want a new Corvette. I'm sure I can find a dealer down there who will work with you.
So when a person is going from the south to the north and we need to prepare for holiday travel, should we consider putting chains in our cars for the tires? Or
Well, you can't use chains anywhere but in the mountains where it requires it. So you'll have to go online and look. I know that Colorado, Utah, Montana, those type of areas, Idaho, they do require it. But if you're heading, like you were saying, New Jersey, I would highly recommend a snow brush, ice scraper, get some hand warmers, foot warmers, toss them in your glove box. Have a set of boots because typically we leave the house, we're wearing a nicer casual pair of shoes. So if you want to make sure you have a pair of boots, an old jacket, hat, gloves, scarf, because if you get stuck on the side of the road and you're waiting for road service, it's not a 5-minute wait. It's usually hours. And the last thing you want to be is stuck there. Even down your way, if you're stuck in the car and, there's a tornado or horrible storm and you find a place to safely keep your vehicle, the next thing you got to figure out is how to get to where you're going. So make sure that you're protected and you have what you need.
And is the Buy-Power card good for all purchases? Anywhere?
It's good for purchases and leases. You can use the card anywhere, but the credit, the earnings that you're getting is for GM dealerships, any of the GM dealerships for maintenance. You can use it for OnStar. You can use it for SiriusXM radio or any connected service plans.
Oh.
But that's $250 a year. You get a credit you can use wherever you want, or that's a statement credit. Or you can use the earnings that you make from all your purchases to buy or lease any GM product. But you can use the credit card anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so even
I see, yeah.
Even if you take it to the GM dealer for maintenance, you can pay that way.
Yes, you can. And gain even more rewards toward it. Because the earnings is what it's about. You want to earn those percentages to increase that money. So when you're ready to buy a new Cadillac, a new Chevy pickup truck, whatever it might be, a GMC pickup truck, you can go in and use those earnings to save a lot of money. Thousands of dollars can be made easily.
So what's a good vehicle to drive in the snow with if I come up to your end of the world?
If you're gonna come up and rent a car, it's gonna be an all-wheel drive SUV for most.
An all-wheel drive SUV.
There are all-wheel drive cars.
I want to look manly. Can you help me with that?
And we'll get you a Corvette or a Camaro. A Camaro would work too. There's good deals on that.
That would work.
But I would say any SUV that's all-wheel drive is a smart choice up here because we use winter tires in addition to all-wheel drive. It's the best way to get around because you don't know what's coming. Although I work with the Weather Channel as their automotive expert, we constantly have a problem with no matter how good the forecasting is, there are still times there's, just like you have rain, it's reported possible and then it's for sure, or snow. There's no way to be 100% sure when it comes to weather.
Right. You know what a lot of people around here have? Those motorhomes. Those self-contained. Yeah, those drive up like you're a turtle. You have everything in underneath your shell.
Exactly.
So,
and
you could do that, I'm sure, but they're expensive to insure. So before you go and buy a motorhome, keep in mind the cost that's involved.
Yeah.
And you also publish the Car Coach Report, so we could find a lot of information there.
Yes, you can go to Car Coach Reports. You'll find all the information on lots of car reviews, ways to save money, a lot of things that I'm doing. Also, any form of social media at Lauren Fix. But if you're interested in this card, start earning money now toward a purchase down the road. It's buypowercard.com.
Buypowercard.com. Lauren, is Fix your real name? Is that a stage name?
Yes, it is. My husband is Paul Fix. He's a famous race car driver. And, of course, there's also an actor named Paul Fix who is in the Westerns. But I've been married for 30 years. I married the right guy.
And you fix cars and your name. Isn't that amazing how that happens sometimes? Yeah.
Sometimes.
Lauren, hey, what a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. You too. We'll be right back. Here are today's headlines from the source, WOCA. The Francis Marion Military Academy in Ocala has announced that they are closing immediately. Students and staff were shocked by the news. A letter from the chair of the Board of Trustees claimed the funding was not enough to sustain the number of teachers and staff required to continue. The academy has about 175 students. The school was opened in 2008 to provide a military-styled education. The letter says they are closing now to give students a chance to transfer to different schools during the upcoming break. An African-American police officer in Florida is suing his department, alleging he was subjected to routine racial harassment and discrimination. Officer Kenight Webb, who works for the Venice Police Department, filed the lawsuit last week in federal court in Tampa. The lawsuit said that a fellow officer referred to Webb as black when talking about him to a resident and placed a banana in the trunk of the vehicle they shared. Someone in the department made a yellow smiley face with a bullet through the head appear on Webb's computer, and an investigative report was fabricated to have him decertified according to the 4-count complaint. Webb said his complaints went ignored by his superiors, including Chief Tom Mattmuller. The lawsuit alleged that supervisors and officers made offensive gestures and derogatory comments to Webb and verbally ridiculed and criticized Webb's race. The Sarasota Herald Tribune reports that department officials did not respond to calls seeking comment. A man who says he forgot he had a firearm on him and unsuccessfully tried to get into Walt Disney World was charged yesterday with a crime. Court records show Nathan Pollitt was charged with carrying a concealed weapon, a third-degree felony. Authorities say he didn't have a concealed carry permit. Orlando television station WKMG reports Pollitt was stopped at a security checkpoint Sunday when he tried to get into Animal Kingdom at Disney World. He told authorities he had moved his handgun from his vehicle to a backpack because he was worried about a vehicle break-in, but he forgot to put it back in the car. Firearms and other weapons are prohibited at Disney World. The estate of a recently deceased mayor of a tiny Florida city is being sued by the city to recover money that officials claim was embezzled. Everglades City this month filed an amended lawsuit against the estate of former Mayor Sammy Hamilton Jr., who was facing criminal charges before his death last August. The city is seeking more than $120,000 plus attorney's fees. Grand theft and official misconduct charges were dropped against the 85-year-old Hamilton after his death. The Naples Daily News reports he was accused of bypassing city purchasing rules and using taxpayer funds for personal business expenses during his tenure as mayor. Hamilton's family has said he was innocent. They wrote that he was falsely accused of things he did not do in his obituary. Located where the Everglades meets the Gulf of Mexico, Everglades City is about 35 miles southeast of Naples. A Miami Beach parking enforcement officer was arrested after the owner of a valet company told investigators he demanded $1,000 in cash each month in exchange for not issuing parking citations. 57-year-old Dante Zirio was arrested Saturday during a sting operation involving the owner of APS Parking LLC. Company owner Freddie Diaz gave the officer a $750 payment during a conversation that was captured on video. Zirio has been charged with extortion, bribery, and accepting an unlawful compensation for official behavior. It's a sad day when a public official engages in such behavior, but it is good to know that internally we did the right thing to identify and arrest the perpetrator. That was a statement from Miami Beach City Manager Jimmy Morales in an email to the city's mayor and commissioners. Investigators believe Zirio acted alone. An Amber Alert remains in effect for the two children missing since Sunday from their home in Jacksonville. Authorities say the parents of 6-year-old Braxton Williams and his 5-year-old sister Bria are cooperating but are not suspects. A Central Florida sheriff wants a new law to force gun sellers to keep their weapons in a safe or at least attached to metal cables anytime the store is closed.
This is common sense legislation, and I think the average citizen out there expects and already thinks that our gun stores are supposed to be doing that.
Orange County Sheriff John Mina unveiled his proposed legislation alongside 2 lawmakers. He says too many crooks can get a cache of weapons just by smashing a glass window. SpaceX is celebrating a successful launch.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
The Falcon 9 rocket blasted into space from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station last night. The rocket was carrying a communications satellite for Asia and the Pacific. SpaceX landed the booster on its drone ship in the Atlantic 8 minutes after takeoff. A water main is responsible for flooding the streets of Miami Beach. The break happened last night in the North Beach area. Several streets were closed, and a building on 74th Street was temporarily evacuated. 6 former teachers are taking on a new role to protect students in South Florida. The 6 were